What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Double D Report. Me and Dean are back. I know it's shocking. Back-to-back weeks. Unheard of. Hasn't been done before. It's insane. But we're back for another episode of the Double D Report where me and Dean will be talking about all sports. But this week, fuck the all sports. We're talking about one main sport. And it's going to be like what we did last week, towards just main topics and then branches off of there. But, Dean, I would love for you to start this podcast so I could flame you for whatever it is. Because that's how it's been.
Excuse me? You're the moron on this podcast.
All right, wait, hold on. By the way, before we even start this fucking podcast, I need to say one thing. The amount of comments that we got about Jalen Hurts not being in the top 5 actually irks me. I have to shut off my TikTok notifications.
That's what makes it a compelling topic, Derek. Because he really is 50-50 top 5.
No, the thing is, like, in the comments, it's not 50-50. It's all Jalen Hurts outside the top 5.
It's not 50-50 because people are using emotion when making their arguments, right? Everybody hates the Eagles unless you're an Eagles.
Yeah. I can't.
So that's the whole point. That's why I tried to be that sliver of hope for you, where I gave actual, factual, logical responses.
I don't want to get into this argument again. I'm going to get angry, and then I'm going to turn into an alcoholic because of you. All right. Dean, I would like for you to start this episode.
Yeah, so there's a couple of main topics that are happening in the NFL. Obviously, we're weeks away now from NFL Week 1. I know everybody's been pumped about it. I know Derek's been pumped about it. I know I've been pumped about it. But there's been a few compelling topics. We touched on it last week. I do want to start on this one because we mentioned it last week. Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson. Daniel Jones has won the starting job in Indianapolis. A little bit of a shocker, if I'm being honest. I think a lot of Colts fans think that way as well. Derek, I want to hear your thoughts to start on what transpired over the last couple of weeks.
First of all, I think we should all have a moment of silence for Anthony Richardson's career. Because it is now officially fucking over. I'm sorry. Anthony Richardson got drafted, correct me if I'm wrong, he got drafted 2 years ago. And He got drafted, I believe, in the first round.
He did. He got drafted top 10, if I'm not mistaken.
A top 10 overall pick. Mind you, no shade against Daniel Jones. He was also a top 10 pick. He was drafted by the New York Football Giants.
Richardson was drafted 5, by the way.
Oh, that makes it worse. Okay. Daniel Jones just
Four.
Worse. Daniel Jones got drafted back with the Giants. He then signed the contract. They said, fuck you, you suck. Cut him. Relinquished all of his contract. I'm pretty sure they paid the guaranteed money. Guaranteed money. Cut him. He then went on to play for the Vikings, to where he then got released again and signed with the Colts. Everyone thought Daniel Jones, he's known to be a backup quarterback. He is not a starting quarterback. Even in this last preseason game, we saw Daniel Jones not being perfect. The fact of the matter is this. Anthony Richardson has such high upside. The upside on this motherfucker is absolutely absurd. And for him to lose the starting job to Daniel fucking Jones is actually horrible. When we said flipping pancakes at IHOP, that might be his next job, I'm starting to think that's true. Or, honestly, in a realistic standpoint, switch fucking positions. Because that's bad.
Look, let's calm down a little bit, all right? So first and foremost, Daniel Jones is a serviceable quarterback. All right, he's not good. He's not great. He's serviceable. He would have been top 3 backups in the NFL. And that's just a fact. What the Colts did here was basically say, in a nutshell, we're done with the Anthony Richardson experiment. Right? You're 100% correct. They drafted him on his upside at 4th overall. They drafted him on the upside from what he showed at Florida. The biggest thing coming out of Florida with him was injuries. And that unfortunately did indeed translate to the NFL, where he's had multiple injuries over his first 2 years, where he hasn't finished a season, let alone even play, 5 games in a season, right? So I think that's one of the biggest compelling arguments is the Colts just haven't had enough time to watch him play. And after a while, you can't continuously take that chance, especially when you're trying to rebuild. You have to see if what you got. So I think the biggest thing here is I don't think Daniel Jones won the starting job. I just think Anthony Richardson lost it. I think he lost the confidence of his coaches. I think he lost the confidence of the organization as a whole, right? And it shows even more when the coach is saying in his press conference, Daniel Jones is not a short-term starter, right? They're expecting him to be the starter for the entirety of the 2025-26 NFL season.
Sickening.
So they doubled down on it. They didn't even like push it off like, yeah, we'll see how he does week 1, week 2. No, fuck that. Daniel Jones is our guy, and it's happening. That's it. That's the end of the story. No ifs, ands, or buts. Maybe he gets injured later in the year and Richardson comes in if he's still a Colt at that point. I just think, especially with the Colts management, both GM and manager jobs on the line, they're going for performance and they're going for wins rather than they're going for upside at this point.
But at some point, all right, for example, it's just so hard to say because, well, obviously, I'm gonna be honest. And when I joined the Dynasty League. I drafted Richardson because his first year he had a great first 4 games, and then he got hurt and he was out for the rest of the year. Then last year he had no good games. He was just pretty much. He was lucky if he got 100 yards passing. He struggled to pass the ball last year. Well, obviously he was running a lot, so he was like doing that. But I do agree with you to the point of how he didn't Daniel Jones winning it and Anthony Richardson lost it. I do agree with that because when you really break it down, like Richardson was a starter coming out of his rookie year. Like coming into his rookie year, they already announced him as a starter.
I mean, yeah, but that's what happens when you get drafted for all. I would say 95% of the time you're starting that initial year.
I think all these young quarterbacks do the Patrick Mahomes thing, to where you wait out a year, see how the NFL is, study the playbook, do all this, and then start. Because I feel like that's how you get better as a quarterback in the NFL. But hey, I'm not a fucking GM or an owner. I don't know that. I'm honestly just baffled by this, so it's like hard for me to put this in words. But let's just say this: Daniel Jones started in hell. He was going bouncing between teams last year and this year, and now he's the starting quarterback. Anthony Richardson, if I'm him, you're the 4th overall pick. You're still young. You should request a trade. I understand that you might want to stay a Colt, or you might not want to stay a Colt. You might just want to, because this motherfucker got injured 3 times in the 3 years he's been in the league. In this past preseason game, he injured his finger?
Yeah, that wasn't a big deal. He played last preseason game.
But still.
The injury concerns are massive. Couple of points. Daniel Jones is a smart, right? He got his bag from the Giants, and he purposefully chose to sign with the Colts, knowing that he had a very good chance at a starting job opportunity. So props to him for going into camp, not taking it lightly, right? Going against Richardson. A lot of people considered we're the favorite, and he did his job, and now he's going to be the starter come week 1. On the Anthony Richardson side, yes, I think he's going to request a trade, or if he doesn't even request a trade, I think the Colts are going to trade him regardless, right? When you have somebody who is as disgruntled as that, where they think they should be the starter or they deserve a chance, become the backup, it's probably not great for team. It probably isn't. So they're probably going to trade him. And you're right. He's a young kid. He still has a lot of opportunity left. There is a ton of teams in the National Football League who can take a chance on him, who could take a flyer on him, let him learn the playbook and see if he maybe starts halfway through the year, right? There's just a few in the AFC alone. I'm looking at Miami, who consistently has injury issues with Tua. I think Richardson would be one hell of a backup, especially to learn from that type of back and in that offensive system. That's a very good fit for him. If he wants to go to maybe a start right away, it's going to be a little bit tougher, but he definitely has opportunities around the league to learn and maybe vie for a starting position next year. The Dolphins, as I mentioned, the Jets are definitely a top of the list that could take a flyer. The Browns could take any single quarterback in the league and take a flyer on them, so that's always an option. Then you go to the NFC, there's definitely some teams out there who may just want to take a chance or at least have a high-profile backup, right? The Saints are trying out 2 quarterbacks right now in Rattler and Shaw, so they don't know what's going on. The Panthers hope they found in something in Bryce Young, but honestly, who knows? So maybe a backup quarterback would be good for them. And then you have some of the other teams. One of the other most compelling teams, in my opinion, the Los Angeles Rams. If there is any quarterback, if there's any coach in the league that can turn Richardson into a good quarterback, it's Sean McVay.
Agreed.
Especially with aging, injured, and probably his going into his last year, Matthew Stafford.
That would be a good spot for him. That would actually be a very good spot for him.
It would be a fantastic spot for him. A new start, learning under an absolute top tier 50-50 Hall of Fame quarterback in Matthew Stafford. And then you also have a fantastic coach who knows an offensive playbook like the back of his dick. So that's a very good landing position for him if he is able to push the Colts to facilitate a trade on the front, which, I mean, at this point, we're getting late in the year. I'm not sure if teams are willing to do these huge, massive trades. That also asks the question, what is really Richardson worth in a trade, right? Maybe a fourth, fifth round pick. We're not sure at this juncture.
I don't even think he's actually. I honestly, if I'm a G, I'm not even giving a fourth or fifth because what I've seen, I haven't seen anything out of him. I think at most maybe a sixth. Because I understand that he has a lot of contract in him. He still has 2 more years left on his rookie contract. So they obviously will have to still deal with that, and then potentially, if he's good, re-sign him or not re-sign him or take a fifth-year option.
His time as an Indianapolis Colt has come to an end.
Yeah, I think we could both agree on that.
Yeah, I think we can agree on that. Barring they keep him for the first 2 weeks of the year and Daniel Jones gets hurt, I don't see him touching the field as an Indianapolis Colts anymore in his career. I just don't see it. So it's going to happen to be a trade, whether it's during the season now or whether it's during the following offseason. It will happen. It's just a matter of.
Do you think that this is all a scheme for the Colts by starring Daniel Jones to tank for Arch?
No.
You don't think
I don't. I truly don't, because of one of the points that I made earlier. Both the GM and the coach, they're on the hot seat, right? If you're on a hot seat, you don't have the luxury of doing a tanking season to go after a quarterback first or second overall. You just don't. You probably, if I'm the owner of the team, right, and they're tanking, you might as well just fire everybody and start fresh then next. So they're not doing this decision with Daniel Jones in order to get, a Manning or an Alar from Penn State. They're not doing that. That's not the move here. They chose Daniel Jones because they feel like they can win the most games with him, which in hindsight is a little bit more depressing if you think about it.
That's so sad.
It is, but that's the reality of the situation.
One more thing that I want to say about this is going on the side of Daniel Jones. It's very, that motherfucker he was stupid for the Giants, but he is a smart motherfucker. Because the way he's like, even after his contract, like the fucked up shit that was going on with the Giants where he got cut, still got his guaranteed money, but he didn't get the rest of the money. Understandable. He then goes to Minnesota, which at the time was a playoff contending team with Sam Darnold, and they had JJ, and then they had him, and he was the backup. So he did that. Could potentially, the way that team was playing, they could have got a fucking ring. Surprised the ring. No one would have pushed it off to the side. And now he's on the Colts. He's putting himself in such a good position to where maybe this could lead him to being another option as a starting quarterback if he proves himself this year. So it's good. It's good leverage for next year potentially.
Absolutely. Look, Daniel Jones took a chance that could have signed with a bunch of other teams, right, to be their primary starting backup. And that would have been fine in a lot of analysts' eyes and a lot of people's eyes, right? Because he probably earned that backup role. He took a chance on himself, went to a team where he thought he could vie for a potential starting position, and he got it.
Yeah. Did you have any closing arguments or statements about Mr. Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones? Because it's honestly sad. Just saying this, it hurts me. I'm not even a Colts fan.
I'm curious to see where he goes next. I do think we agreed that the Rams are probably at the top of the list if you're Richardson. That doesn't mean the Colts are going to do it, but it's definitely at the top of your list just to have a chance to learn under some real dominant players. I do want to end it off on this, whether you not as complete, facet of imagination. The Colts while they think they can win under Daniel Jones, right, or at least maximize, right, I wouldn't completely eliminate them just yet.
What do you
Their
mean?
division is extremely weak,
Yes.
right? So I don't want to sit here and say this is just an tank from the Colts, right? The Colts did this very strategically. They think Daniel Jones can get them. You're going to know in the first few weeks if the Colts have any chance whatsoever at a playoff spot. But I will say their division is very weak. So I wouldn't go all gung-ho and say, start tanking if you're a Colts fan. Just see how it plays out the first couple of weeks, then go from there.
Yeah, because when I really think about this, correct me if I'm wrong, the coach of them is a former coach of the Eagles.
Yeah.
So for some reason, I'm feeling like this is going to be like a little bit of a Carson Wentz type of. He's going to turn into like a Carson Wentz type of player.
The max, I think the ceiling for Daniel Jones at this point in his career is if he gets revived by a team in the way Sam Darnold and Geno Smith got, right?
Yes.
I think that's his max potential, which, to be fair, isn't bad.
No, it's not.
But at the same time, that's not bad for a team that is ready to win. And I don't think the Colts are a team that's ready to win.
No, not at all.
So it's a very interesting dynamic. I mean, I was personally shocked about the decision. I know Colts fans were shocked about the decision. Got to deal with it.
Yeah, you got to deal with it. Overall, Anthony Richardson, start looking for jobs, buddy. Hop on Indeed, because you are fucked. All right, so to segue into this topic, we're going to go into making fun of a team that we both hate. This puts a smile on my face talking about this. We're going to be talking about Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. What's going on that side in the NFC East is Micah says, I want to get paid, and Jerry Jones is an arrogant piece of shit and will not pay him. He says, in the olden days, I would have just said, oh, sign this contract, here, you good, go. But that's not how it works. He's one of the best defensive pass rushers in the league, arguably, at his age. He can't, mind you, motherfucker can't play coverage, but he's a great pass rusher. Some stupid people are comparing him to Lawrence Taylor. Might I say stupid people, because he is not even close to him. But I want to say he wants out, because I feel like there's a small possibility he resigns. But the further this goes, the worse it gets for the Cowboys. Because when you see, oh, this team doesn't want to sign me, they don't want to pay this money for me, they don't really want me there. And I should explore my options elsewhere, which is why he requested a trade.
Yeah.
So, Dean, take it away.
I'm gonna go bold here. Oh. No, actually, you know what? Not even bold. I'm just gonna speak it with my chest. I think the Cowboys are in the right here. When you look at Parsons, right? You said it yourself. He's horrific in coverage. and he is the perfect size to be a linebacker, but he's too stupid to be a linebacker and go into coverage. So they converted him to defensive end, and mind you, he's fantastic, right? He's got a lot of speed off the edge. He's definitely smaller than a lot of defensive ends, and he can't get past some of the best guards in the league, but he's still an elite pass rusher. Is he worth $200 million? Is he worth $40 million a year that Myles Garrett, that TJ Watt got? Yeah, no, not even close. Not even remotely close, if you want my opinion. Those guys are leagues ahead of Parsons. Leagues, Derek. So if I'm the Cowboys, and mind you, I hate them, they have a lot of holes to fill on that team. Jerry Jones is an idiot, but he knows that. Is spending $42 million, $45 million a year for Parsons really going to improve your team to win the division in the next 3 years? No, it's just not. The Commanders have surpassed you, and they will continuously surpass you over the next 3 years. The Eagles have been beyond you for the last 5. The Giants are coming up on your coattails in the next 2 to 3 years to surpass you. Spending that sort of money for a guy who does not even qualify even close to those top pass rushers that I mentioned, like Garrett and Watt. Not even close. So I think they're actually I think Jerry Jones should stand on his ground and say, no, you're not going to get paid that. This is the contract I have for you. If you take it, fine. We can explore trade options elsewhere. But the thing with trade options is you have to trade him to a team that is willing to give him that contract. They're not going to trade for him without the security of signing him to a long-term deal. So I think Parsons is stuck in a rock and a hard place where, do I finally report play out this last year, go for 15, 20 sacks and prove why I should be paid that money? Or do I stand on business, sit out the first couple of games until Dallas maybe ups their offer or a trade finalizes? It's a tough position to be in. I'm gonna. I firmly stand on the grounds that I think Dallas is in the right here.
Well, first of all, going off of that, I do want to say one thing: is Brent Schottenheimer had an interview today, and he said he's very optimistic on Parsons playing the home opener. Mind you, he's optimistic. Has Parsons reported to training camp since then? I believe not. I don't know how you could be optimistic with someone if you haven't fucking seen the guy. So maybe they think that Micah Parsons loves the game enough to show up. Because right now, Micah is pissed at the Cowboys. He wants to get paid. And the reason why I disagree with you is this. Yes, he isn't up there for all these pass rushers. Like, he's not... TJ Watt and Myles Garrett are completely different. Those are two completely different motherfuckers. I think the way Jerry Jones is acting like a fucking child in this. I understand you don't want to pay the guy. I understand that. But going on all these interviews, talking on your stupid radio show about this, is the most idiotic thing in the world. It's only showing the amount of cracks that this team has. Oh, and 100%. Listen to me.
That's what Jerry Jones does, though. He's a showman.
Yeah, but you can't. I understand you're a showman. You could be a showman for Dak. You cannot. Micah Parsons is the rising star on that team. He's one of the youngest players on that team, other than CeeDee Lamb, who they did pay. Who CeeDee Lamb did say he was going to sit out. Mind you, CeeDee did deserve it.
It's tough to compare the situation to CeeDee because Derek. Give me top 5 receivers in the league. Is CeeDee in there?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me the top 5 defensive ends in the league. Is Parsons in there? No.
I think he is.
I don't think he is.
I think he's 5. Oh, here we go in this argument again.
Oh, geez, here we go.
I think he's 5 or 4. Honestly,
is he better than TJ Watt?
No.
Is he better than Myles Garrett?
No.
Is he better than Max Crosby?
No.
Is he better than Danielle Hunter? Nope. Is he better than Nick Bosa? Nope. And then there's a list.
Okay, listen to me.
A list of other players that are arguably better than him. You can go Trey Hendrickson. You can go Brian Burns. You can go Josh Hines-Allen. There are a list of players that you can argue are better than him at the position where they're actually defensive ends, Derek. This guy is a linebacker who translated to a defensive end because he's too stupid to play linebacker.
Okay. One person I will disagree with. I do not think Nick Bosa is in the top 5.
Wow. All right, whatever. We're not going to argue top 5.
Yeah, we'll be tell that. Let me just go back to this. All right, but Nick, don't get me wrong. Micah Parsons, we both can agree on this. He cannot play coverage, which is a big downside because, as you said, he's being stupid. He doesn't want to play linebacker. He wants to play edge. Understandable. But for some reason, when you look at all these players that you just listed, like who are people in the top 5 and all these people, they're all on the, correct me if I'm wrong, Myles Garrett is one of the best players in the league, one of the best defensive players in the league, but he is getting on the older side. Correct me if I'm wrong, he's 29. No, listen to me. He's getting on the older side. He's 29, 30. They're expiring contracts. All these contracts that these motherfuckers are getting are expiring. What I'm saying is the matter of this. He's a young player. I don't think he deserves this. He said $200 million. I don't think he deserves that. But I think the guy at least deserves 130, 140.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to be as truthful as possible. Okay? At this stage in their careers, I'm going to read you both of them. Who would you rather sign for a team? Micah Parsons or Trey Hendrickson?
Micah Parsons. And I'm an Eagles fan saying this.
See, I disagree.
I honestly think, like, because how I
see... the fact that you even just thought about it for 5 seconds proves that he is not even close to what he is asking.
No, you could think about any... That's a stupid way to fucking debate about it. Because I'm thinking in my head is based off of this. Trey Hendrickson he's what I would say he's a power rusher. He's more of the strong. He's not a speed rusher. He's not a fast guy coming up. No, listen to me. He's not a fast guy coming off the edge. If I'm picking a team, I'm signing a guy who's fast coming off the edge. These power rushers are getting pushed out. What?
You can call Hendrickson whatever you want. He has had 17.5 sacks in back-to-back seasons.
Okay. And he's not getting paid. Yeah, Dean, but he's not. Why is he not getting paid? There has to be a reason to why he's not getting paid.
Because the market reset with Garrett and Max Crosby. And these guys think they're worth more than they are. Trey Hendrickson does not deserve $40 million a year.
How much do you think Trey Hendrickson deserves?
I think Trey Hendrickson should get a 3-year, $32 million a year contract. I think he deserves that. When you have 35 sacks in 2 years, you deserve that type of contract. It's tough, obviously, because if you're a Dallas fan, Parsons is one of the players. He is your defense, right? He's the one who's getting to the play every time. He's a fucking workhorse. He's in there every down that he can be. The issue with Parsons is, one, he does have some injuries. Not a lot. He misses like 4 or 5 games a year. 2, he is small for the position. So he relies on his speed. So the contract is going to get worse as time goes on because your speed is going to diminish. And 3, he's stupid. He can't go to linebacker. He can't translate to linebacker.
Well, he definitely can. He chooses not to.
Actually, no.
I feel like
Parsons, go cover the fucking wheel route. Okay, Parsons is out back covering the. I mean, I'm being honest here.
I honestly think with the right coach, he could be coached at linebacker easily.
No, stop it. We're not talking about coaching at this point. We're talking right now, right here. Is he willing? Is he worth even close to what he's asking?
I think. Well, I didn't say. I literally said he wasn't worth the $200 million because you said it. He claimed he wanted what, $200 million?
Look. This is the reality. $41 million is your boy T.J. Watt, number 1 in the league, average per year for edge rushers.
As he should.
Parsons wants to be more than that.
That's egregious.
Egregious. I'm going to put it into your shoes, Derek. Think of it this way. Would you pay Micah Parsons on the Eagles $100?
How much?
$150 million. This offseason, Bosa got $170, Myles Garrett got $160, Max Crosby only got a 3-year deal. He got $35 million. So if you give him 4 years at $35 million, let's just do that, you're coming up on $150. Would you give him $150?
No, but I have a rebuttal for that.
Okay.
And how many years is it? That's also a big question.
4 years.
4 years.
150.
Within those 4 years, I would turn a lot of money, probably $10 million. I would probably give him $140 and have $10 million worth of incentives aligned in his contract.
He declined you. He wants $150, guaranteed. What are you giving him? You taking it? Yes or no? You trading his ass? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
I feel
You're trading him.
Yeah, I would. You would if he doesn't want to play. If you don't want to play for a team, obviously you trade him. I don't disagree with that.
It's not that he doesn't want to play for the team. It's that he wants what he thinks he's. And I think at some points within the NFL, not only looking at persons, owners and GMs have to put their foot down and say, Jesus Christ, no. You're just not worth that. We're not giving you that. This is our contract offer. If you don't like it, fine. We'll trade you, or we'll at least look into trades. And you know what? If we can't find a trade partner, and if you don't want to play, good. Sit your ass out. Don't get paid.
I feel like, and for this, it's kind of crazy to say. I feel like these type of questions are like always 50-50 in a way, based off the fact is like, if you're in the GM, what would you do? Because some GMs, they might cough up this money. We were saying like this, like there might be like the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars. They might just say, I'll send you this pick, and this pick, and then sign to extension.
Look, absolutely. There are teams out there that will give him the money. Maybe not exactly what he wants, close enough where he would accept it. Then it goes to the Cowboys. It's still in the Cowboys' hands. This guy still has an option, so you're still under control with the Cowboys. And on top of that, you have to get corresponding, picks back for Micah Parsons, who, according to him, one of the best defensive ends in the league. So you're not just going to throw him away for nothing.
Okay. I get where you're coming from. Do I disagree with most of it? Yes. Because I just think Micah Parsons is arguably one of the best edge rushers in the league now.
Top 10.
I think he's top 5. Honestly, I think he's top 5. But that's agree to disagree, as what we both said. I think he should get paid. You don't think. You think he's not one of the best. You get what I'm saying?
Would you give up a second round for Micah Parsons? You can't say yes so quickly.
Wait.
You have to allocate, like I just said, close to $40 million a year for him. So the only teams that are going to be willing to give up a second round pick and pay him out $40 million a year are teams that are close, or they think they're one piece away from making a run. You're not giving up a second round pick, and you're not paying him $40 million if
you don't think Parsons is worth a first?
No. Oh my God, no. Oh, stop it. No.
Not even one first.
Nope.
That's bold.
Nope. Nobody. Nope.
I don't understand how, but I feel like that's an hour debate that's just waiting to fucking happen.
I think he is going to age poorly in the NFL.
I mean, you could say that, but I don't disagree because, as we said, it's a speed rusher.
There's some players will age fantastic. I think he's going to age poorly, and I think that's what scares teams for trading for him.
Well, if that's your final opinion on it, then that's your final opinion on it. I can't debate that because that's just your opinion. But my last things to say about this is one, either A, if I'm Micah Parsons, figure the fuck out what you want to do. If you want to stay for the team, figure out a way to get this contract done. Because if you don't get this done, you're just going to be eating away at these fines, which obviously you have all this money, but still paying consistent fines of you not showing up to practice. And say if you miss the games in the regular season, you're not showing up to practice during the week, the games, you get fined for all that shit. Get the shit done if you want to stay for the team. If you don't, have a meeting with your manager, he'll talk to Jerry Jones, and then evidently it will get figured out. Because you don't want to put this on the back burner when the season is about to start. Week 1's coming around against the Eagles, which is a big game. I don't remember the last time the Eagles played the Cowboys to start off the year.
The Eagles are going to shit bump them.
I'm going to be ecstatic to watch that game. But you want all your best players out there on that field. You don't want one of your best players to just be sitting there twiddling his dick on his podcast reacting to the game. So that's my closing argument on this. Get this shit figured out before it gets even worse for yourself.
All right. Well, we did some topics in the NFL. Those are 2 prestigious topics, right? I do want to go back to one of our old segments. It's mailbag time.
Yes.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from.
I'm very excited for this one. Very excited.
It's been over a month, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we know you've missed us. We've missed you. Well, at least I have. Derek, he's useless.
Oh, fuck off.
But one of our favorites, Derek, has asked a question. Nikki from the Bronx.
Nikki from the Bronx.
Bronx. Yeah. Okay. So before I even read his thing, right, Nikki, we want to level with you. We know you're not happy. We know you're miserable. You got to hang in there, Nikki. You got to hang in there. Anyway, mailbag time. Nikki from the Bronx. You ready, Derek?
Yes, I'm ready.
As always, you get first call here.
Okay.
Dean Derek, welcome back. I've missed you. It's been a rough month. It's been a rough month. The Mets have blown not only the division, but they are now hanging on by a sack hair, quote unquote sack hair, into the final wild card spot. I have to ask, I'm going to be very blunt about it. Do you think the New York Mets make the playoffs?
I'm going to be upfront and honest. I don't think they do. The reason why I'm saying this because obviously they just paid all this money to Mr. Soto. They did help out the team a little bit with the pitching staff. A little bit. They dabbled. They salt bay that shit. But from what I've seen these past month and a half, because it's been a month and a half since All-Star break, correct me if I'm wrong? Around that time.
A month and a week, a month and a couple. Let's call it a month and a half.
All right, it's been a month and a half, and what I've seen from the Mets is just a pile of dog shit. They haven't been good at all. Like, I've seen maybe, win against this team, win against this team. They're winning against these garbage teams. But when they're going against, like, these powerful matchups, like, say, for example, the Phillies, or, for example, I don't even want to say the Braves.
No, the Braves are dog shit, but they still lose to the Braves.
They lose to the Brewers. They get spanked by the Brewers. Like, I mean, belt to ass. So, no, Nikki from the Bronx, they do not make the playoffs. Does it affect on their injuries in the pitching staff? Can Francisco Lindor not hit a volleyball? Can Pete Alonso get his head out of his ass? But, overall, they don't make the playoffs. Sorry, but fuck the Mets. If they do somehow turn around the pitching staff, there's like a 1% chance. But I don't see it at all, honestly.
All right, so, Nikki, it's been a rough month for Yankee fans too, so you're not alone. Don't stress too much, right? It's just baseball. I'm kidding. I'm secretly wanting to die inside. However, right, there's a lot of ways to look about this. So I did want to update. The Mets did lose tonight to the Washington Nationals. The Cincinnati Reds play later tonight against the Los Angeles Angels. If the Reds win, the Reds and the Mets will officially be tied for the third and final wild card spot. So what we've seen, right, within this last wild card spot, it's going to be between the Mets and the Reds. Those are the two teams that are vying for it. St. Louis, Arizona, San Francisco, they're too far back at this point in the season. If there's anybody within those teams that can maybe run, it's probably San Francisco, but they won't. So it's going to be between the Mets and the Reds. If you go based on the last month, like Derek was saying, since the All-Star break, you are bottom 5 in the league in terms of win-loss. Don't laugh. The Yankees are too. Don't laugh. Don't you fucking laugh.
It's hard.
Bottom 5 in the league, right? Over the last, since the All-Star break in terms of win-loss. Your lineup can't hit any pitchers that have over a 5 ERA. That's a problem. Especially because of how much money you've invested into your lineup, right? Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, Brandon Nimmo, Starling Marte. The list goes on. Your lineup should be and needs to be better if you are going to have any sliver of a chance at making the playoffs. That being said, you have to look forward now, right? So there are about 35, 40 games left in the year. So you got to look at the MLB remaining schedule. Both Cincinnati and the Mets have the top 10 hardest remaining schedule in the majors. Then you look at some logistics, right? Both teams have a hard schedule. You could kind of pass that off. Look at logistics. Look at your pitching staff. Kodai Senga is not the guy you thought he was. His forkball's not forking. And for lack of a better term, he's getting fucked. Dave Peterson's your only pitcher right now. That's sad. Let's be honest here, right? Dave Peterson's your one. That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, Met fans. So this is the issue as it pertains to this. Is there relief coming for your pitching staff? No. This is what you got for the rest of the year. You didn't really improve it moving in on the deadline. You improved the back end with the bullpen with a couple of additions, but you didn't really improve the starting pitching. You thought Frankie Montas was going to be, instead he got moved to the bullpen. Now you're bringing up top prospects to try and salvage and save a season. It's tough. And then the X factor, Terry Francona, the Cincinnati Reds manager. Probably one of the best managers in Major League Baseball, if not the best, right? This guy could bring the worst team ever and make them a respectable playoff contender. He did it back in Cleveland, and he's doing it right now with the Cincinnati Reds. The one thing that you have to look for if you're a Mets fan, the solace of it all, right? The Mets are 150% more talented than the Cincinnati Reds.
Yes.
150%. Talent up to front to back, up to bottom. It doesn't matter. You are more talented than them. If your team starts to hit in the last month and a half here, if Lindor pulls his head out of his ass, if Soto starts hitting with runners in scoring position, if Pete Alonso starts hitting baseball that aren't home runs, right? If Nimmo is actually respectable, if Jeff McNeil gets off his ass and actually starts hitting singles again, you can make it to the playoffs. I'm going to give you a piece of advice, Nikki. All right? I know you're listening out there. Don't, D-O-N-T, do not put any more pressure on yourself. Do not put any more mojo. Do not put any more emotion into this New York Met team because you're better off just letting it go. You're better off letting it go. Even if you make the playoffs, I'm looking at the standings right now, right? Every single team you would face will beat you. The Philadelphia Phillies will beat you. The Milwaukee Brewers will beat you. The Chicago Cubs will beat you. The Los Angeles Dodgers will bend you over and shove it up the tailpipe. The San Diego Padres will beat you. There is not a singular team in the NL playoffs right now that you could beat. So, I think here is the overall arching, message here. Who gives a shit if they make the playoffs? You got a lot of work to do this offseason, and that's what you should be looking forward to. Thanks, Nikki, as always.
Oh my god. I agree with almost everything you say based off the fact is like this season is just a dumpster fire. One thing, this is a dumpster fire for all New York. It is just not good for what's going on in New York. Yankees and the Mets.
First and foremost, the Yankees have the 5th easiest schedule remaining in the Major League Baseball season, right? So that obviously helps you. You are now, after tonight, 3 games out of the loss column in first place in your division, where you thought it was completely lost 2 weeks ago. That's just because Boston and Toronto aren't as good as people think. And this is the other big one. If you're a Yankee fan, the AL sucks. So if you make it to the playoffs, it's not like what the Mets situation is, where they're losing against every playoff team. The Yankees, you can beat almost every single playoff team. So, moral of the story, we all suck.
Yeah, New York sucks right now. It sucks. But Nikki from the Bronx, I really do appreciate your question. Glad to have you back. Hopefully next week we'll hear that you're alive after seeing the Mets play.
If he survived this long, I don't think anything's killing him. Maybe the D train.
Yeah, maybe the D train. Maybe just after one game, he's just sick of it and just runs right in front of it. It's very possible.
We don't condone that type of behavior.
Of course we don't.
However, we would understand it.
Yes, we would. And we pray for you, Nikki. We pray for you.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was our mailbag of the week. Moving on. Derek, I think it's time, right?
It has to be time.
Oh, yeah, it has to be time. We're 2 weeks out, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the worst NFL predictions you have ever heard.
Oh, of course. It's going to be dreadful. Honestly, we're going to get hate threads. It's going to be bad.
Look, it happens. It is what it is. What we're going to do now is we're going to obviously dive a little deeper into NFL as the weeks go on. We're almost there towards week 1, so we're going to continuously ramp up, me and Derek. However, as tradition we did for the hockey season, as tradition we did for the NBA season, as tradition we did for the MLB season, we are going to preseason predict the division winners. We're not going to go Super Bowl playoff or anything like that as of yet. Maybe that'll be week 1. Me and Derek will talk about it. But division winners, I think, is a must right now.
Do you want to do, we could do this. We could just say the division winners for each division, or we could go, say, for the East, we say Eagles in first, or, Giants in first. Teams in first, at first, second, third, and fourth. We could do that, or you just want...
I like that.
Okay. because that could bring a lot of oof.
Yeah, I like that, and I'm personally going to write down mine because I want to see how pathetic I am at the end.
I'm gonna actually do the same because the matter of the fact is that we suck at this. We suck. Like when it came to the regular season, when we came to predicting the games, I mean, we are horrible. Even though there were some weeks to where we had promise.
Hey. It's a new NFL season, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be better. Or at least I'm going to be better. I think Derek digresses a little bit, but that's for another day.
Yeah. But that happens. It is what it is. Do you want to start or you want me to start?
I could start, but here, how about this? I'll start, but you choose the division we started.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. We're going to start in the NFC North.
NFC North, very good division. Very good. Very good division. All right. Okay, I promised I would start it. It's an easy it's a cop-out answer. I do think the Detroit Lions, I think they're a very good team. I think they're getting healthier. I think Dan Campbell is still the man. Their offense did not change. If anything, it got a little bit better. And their defense definitely improved because of the injuries that I mentioned. So I'm going to take the Detroit Lions to win the division. And then 2 through 4, what I'm going to go is Packers 2, Vikings 3, Bears 4. However, I do want to just do a little quick caveat on. I do think the division is going to be very close. I think every single team in the division gets at least 7 wins.
That's pretty hard for divisions. That's very hard. That's very hard. If that does happen, kudos to you. That's insane.
Oh, I'm making the note right now. I will be flaunting that left and right if that actually comes to fruition.
That will be actually insane. All right, I'm gonna go mine. It's kind of like the same. Actually, I'm lying. It's not the same thing. So first, obviously, it's a kind of obvious one. It is a cop out, but they are the best team in that division. I'd go to Lions, based off the fact is that there's no team like they're pretty much ranked as one of the best teams in the NFC. So it's hard not to put them at number 1. At number 2, based off the fact I have high upside on this kid. I think he's going to stud quarterback. I think he's going to be a great quarterback his first year. He has all these weapons. He does have Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. I'm going to go with the Vikings and JJ McCarthy. I think it's going to be a great duo between Jay Jettas and him. It's going to work out well. They have Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. It's a good offensive lineup, and their defense is still very good. So I'm going to go Vikings 2, Packers 3, Bears 4. Because fuck Caleb Williams.
I knew that was coming. I didn't say it, ladies. I didn't say it this time.
I'm on the Caleb Williams hate train. And I will lead that fucking train. Until I see something good out of him.
All right. Calm down. So we both agree it's the Lions. I will choose the next division. Derek, you could start us off. Stay in the NFC West.
Okay. A shitty division. We got okay. All right. I'm gonna go with a bold one because this division in my eyes is a coin flip. I don't think there's a clear-coded team that's like, oh, is the best in that division because it's consistently been who the fuck is gonna win. At the number 1 spot, I'm gonna go bold. I'm gonna go Arizona.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Arizona on my number 1. I don't know why. I feel like Kyler's gonna have an explosive year this year. James Conner doing his thing, and Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, fitting in with the offense. Then at the number 2, I'm going to go with the Rams. Asterisk is the Rams will make the playoffs.
Okay. Wild card.
Matthew Stafford, obviously, and Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. That's a great deal. I just don't think that their defense is capable of winning the rest of the games. I would have the Niners in 3rd because Brock Purdy and their team is still good, but it's not as good as what it was years ago. They've declined like a motherfucker. Lost Debo, probably won't have Ayuk for a good amount of time, and the rest goes on. And in the last spot, unfortunately, Seattle. I like Seattle, like their young team, Jalen Milroe, Jackson, Smith and Jigba, and then what the fuck is the other one?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But that's my top 4.
Cool. I like the position. However, I am going to be different in every category. I'm going to go 49ers to win the division.
Oh, brother.
I think a big bounce back year for them. One of those teams like the Lions, a little bit different than in regards to, the Lions obviously were the best team in the NFL in the regular season, but got injured in the playoffs. I think it a lot had to do with injuries on the 49ers side, especially when you lose such key offensive players like CMC and like Ayuk. Ayuk will be back. CMC is back. So I see a much more prolific offense for this year to start. Obviously, that's injuries pending. However, I'm going to go 49ers 1. I do like your call, Derek. I like Arizona this year. I do. I think if Kyler is right, I think if they click, I think it's going to be very good. I'm going to go Cardinals 2. I'm going to go then, obviously, the Rams 3. Right? It has nothing. It's tough to pinpoint it. I just think, and he's been a great quarterback. I think Stafford is coming to the end, and I think he's going to have some injury issues. Not to mention, and I don't think it gets talked about enough, just because you signed a veteran receiver. I think losing Kupp is going to hurt a lot.
Yeah.
I don't discount Puka because he's a stud. He's unbelievable, right? But I think losing Kupp on the other side of that is going to hurt a lot.
That's who Seattle has. Kupp.
Yes.
That's what it was. I was thinking of the Empire.
Yeah. So that's going to be mine. 49ers, Cardinals, Rams. That's going to be my prediction for this one.
Okay. Well, I think actually no, I just don't think the 49ers are going to be good this year. I can't lie. But we'll move on. We can talk about this later. But I'm going to go to the AFC. We have to touch on the AFC. We're pretty much just staying on the NFC. I'm going to go to a very not so easy division because they all suck. But I'm going to go with the AFC South.
Okay. Okay. No, that's fine. All right. I have to start it off, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, of course. That's the whole point.
Okay. You're not going to like me.
Oh, no. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, fucking hell.
I think I'm entitled to one Super Bowl. And I do want to shout out my friend for this. I'm not going to name him. But he inspired me to think about it a little bit. And I kind of liked it. I am going to take the Jaguars to win the division. As you mentioned, Derek, I think it is it's close to the worst division in football.
It's the worst division.
It's close. Probably the worst division. It's like 95.
It just is.
It's worst division. Whatever. The best team in the division on paper is Houston, right? Do we really think that Houston's going to get more like 9, maybe 10 wins this year? I don't. So I think that leaves an opportunity for another team to come in and steal it. And I think, and I hope, because I do like the kid, I think Trevor, and we talked about this last week, huge year for him, especially with new offensive weapons around. I like the Jaguars. It's bold. It's extremely bold. I'm going to go with them to win the division. Second, I'm going to take the Texans. Third, I'm going to take the Colts. Fourth, there's a realistic chance the Titans don't win 2 games this year. And I'm going to take the Titans fourth.
I agree with you on the last part. And shockingly, very, very shockingly, I actually do agree with you with the number 1. I do genuinely think in my heart of hearts that Jacksonville... I know, shocking. I do think Jacksonville is going to win this division. I don't know... I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. It's Trevor Lawrence, as what we said last week, this is a huge fucking year for him. Huge year. This year, he has a lot of weapons to throw to. He has Travis Hunter, rookie. I understand he's a rookie, but he's still a great wide receiver. Brian Thomas, a lot of wide receivers, and their defense isn't as bad as what people say it is. What I've seen this year from that division is Jacksonville has won here, and Texans have won here. All the Texans did was they either lost players or people just left. Or honestly, so far, injuries. They just lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson for the whole year. So I think that the Texans will be 2, but Jacksonville, I do believe, will win the division and asterisk 2 with 11 wins.
Wow.
I think the Jacksonville Jaguars will achieve 11 wins this year. I could be horribly wrong, and they could have 11 losses.
I think we both can.
Yeah, but I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars will have a surprisingly really good year. And then then obviously the Texans, Colts, shitstorm of Tennessee Titans.
All right, Derek, I'm going to put you right into the... Give it to me.
Repeat it again? Cut out.
NFC East.
Oh.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm going to go one last.
Okay. You're such a cock.
At number 4, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. I purely think this based off the fact there's not even that, like, I hate the Cowboys. I honestly don't. I think the Cowboys are just going to have a bad year this year. They're struggling. They don't have that. Their team didn't get better at all. Obviously, last year they did lose Dak. They still had CD and all that. But Dak is going to have another mediocre year like he always had. He had one MVP type season, and they lost in the first round. Their team hasn't gotten better. Their O-line actually got worse because Zach Martin retired, which is one of the best guards in the league, and that's huge. So I do think they will end up in last in a tough division. I do think they will end up in last with 7 wins. I do think in third it will be the New York Football Giants, not making the playoff.
7 or 8 wins.
What?
How many wins?
7 wins. They beat them off a tiebreaker. Then at the 2, I have the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, that a boy. Yeah.
I'm a huge Eagle fan. I love the Eagles. As you can see, a crooked ass stadium behind me. But I have to be realistic. One, there hasn't been a repeated champion in that division in 25 plus years?
I think the last time there was a repeated division winner was, I think, the 2005 season.
All right, yeah, 20. It's 20 years. It's been 20 years since that happened, which is insane, by the way, which proves how good that division is, to where all these teams could win each and every time, like chronologically differently. But Eagles did. I wouldn't say the Eagles got tremendously worse. They aren't the same team as what they were last year. They're not as good as what they were last year. They're still very good. They're going to be the second. They're going to be the second best team, and then number 1 will be the Washington Commanders. And it hurts for me to say it, but it's true.
Cool. This is going to be an easy one. I agreed with every single pick you just took. I wrote it down before you said it. I think it's going to be Commanders, Eagles for the exact. We have one of the toughest divisions in football in terms of hard-nosed, tackling, passion football, where it's extremely hard to be a repeat division winner. I have the Giants at 3. I think they made a ton of improvements on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And then I have the Dallas Cowboys at 4. I don't even think they're getting 7 wins. I think they end
Wow. So you think I was being nice with that?
I think the Cowboys suck ass. I think Dak Prescott sucks ass. I think their offense isn't really that good. And I think Jerry Jones likes...
I was not expecting that whatsoever, but warranted.
Gotta keep you on your toes.
But warranted. Very warranted. I'm going to go, because now it's my turn to choose the division. I'm going to go with the hardest division, in my opinion, on the AFC side. I'm going to go with the AFC North.
Okay.
Which that consists of, obviously, the Ravens, the Browns. I think, hold on, let's just all agree, the Browns are dead last.
I do agree with that.
Okay, so we don't have to say number 4. They're automatically 4. Now you choose your 3.
Yeah, so I'm going to go quick with this one. I think the Ravens are one of, if not the best team in the NFL on paper, and they're always a great regular season team. I have the Bengals finishing 2, also making the playoffs. I have the Steelers finishing 3, finally finishing below 500, and Mike Tomlin getting fired after this. And then I have the Browns finishing 4.
I hate saying this, but I have the exact same one. And I'm not going to say the person's name, but I did say this to one of my friends who was a Steeler fan. And I said to him that this is going to be the first year to where they don't have, to where they're not over 500. I think it's going to, I think Aaron Rodgers on that team just makes that team worse. Honest to God, I think he just makes it fucking horrible. DK Metcalf, obviously, he's still a great player, but Aaron Rodgers throwing to him, and their defense will always be phenomenal. Always be phenomenal. But you just got rid of Minkah Fitzpatrick. You replaced him with Jalen Ramsey, who is a great coincide to with Joey Porter Jr., but their team, it doesn't compare to that division. To where number 2 would be the Bengals, great team, and number 1 would be the Ravens, because arguably one of the top 3 teams in the AFC.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. I'm going to go down to the last NFC division, Derek. Going to give you the NFC South. What are we thinking?
Oh, I'm going to go quick on this one. Very, very quick. I'm going to go Tampa at 1 because their team is the best team in that division by far. Okay. Number 2, bold, but I still like it, Carolina. Number 3, I'm going to go Falcons. And number 4, I'm going to go Saints. Okay,
cool. We're pretty similar on this one. I do have the Bucs finishing. I think they're going to go back to back to back in terms of division winners. I have this is where the switch up is. I have the Falcons 2, Panthers 3, although I do agree with you. I think the Panthers take a bit of a leap this year. I think they look mediocre I think they're a middle of the pack team that at least shows some sort of competitive nature, which is nice to see considering they've sucked ass the last 5 years. And then Saints, rebuilding year, figuring out their quarterback situation. I got them as 4.
Which, mind you, might I say, is a very hard quarterback situation. Very fucking hard. Oof. Rough for them. But hey, sucks to suck. I'm going to go to an easy division in the AFC. I'm going to go to AFC East.
Okay. I may give you a little bit of a shocker here.
Oh, brother.
Not for one. The Bills get one.
Okay, I was about to fucking say.
The Bills get one.
I was about to test you for drugs if you would have said something.
No. I'm going to give the Bills. I'm going to give the Patriots 2. Mm-hmm. I am then... Now you're really going to hate me. I'm going to give the Jets 3. And I'm going to give the Miami Dolphins 4. And my asterisk, McDaniels gets fired after the year.
Ding. Sometimes our little minds think alike. Because at 1, I have the Bills, obvious. At number 4, I have the Dolphins.
Okay.
At number 2, I have the Patriots.
Wow.
This is why. I'm going to give a reasoning why. Drake May is in his second year. Did get better weapons, and that team only got better. Because Mr. Kraft said, I have the money, I'm going to use the money. And he built a moderately good offensive line for him to be behind, and then a good defense. So they've only gotten better, while the Jets just got Justin Fields and signed Garrett Wilson. So I think the Patriots take a jump to number 2, then Jets 3, Dolphins 4, with McDaniels getting fired. I think this is McDaniels last year, and potentially Tua's last year. Oh, damn, I hate agreeing with you. This fucking sucks.
All right, and Derek, you get first dibs at this. The last one, the AFC West. What are we feeling? How are we looking? What do we got?
Oh, Derek wants to go extremely bold. Extremely bold, but I can't, because it's idiotic. 1, obvious, I'm going to go Chiefs. Because the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC. Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback. One of the best quarterbacks in the league. Number 2, I'm going to go with the Madison Beer effect. And I'm going to go with the Chargers at number 2.
Okay.
I think, 1, Justin Herbert is established in that offense now with Harbaugh being there another year. Keenan Allen's back, a great target to throw to with Ladd McConkey. And obviously the running back situation that they have. Good enough defense. Their defense is still pretty solid. And yeah, I think this year is just going to be a very good year for him. Making the wild card. But they will be number 2. At number 3, I'm going to go with the Broncos. Don't get me wrong, Bo Nix, great young quarterback. But that division is just so hard. You're fighting for life in that division. So they will fall at the 3 and then a dead last. Honestly, they might get 2 wins this year, is the Raiders. Sadly. Even though I like this, I like Genty on that team. I like Brock Bowers, but I don't see them getting that many wins this year. Team's not good enough, honestly.
Okay. So, I'm going to go from last to first. I'm going to pull a U.
Okay.
Raiders, last.
Dead. Obviously.
However, I'm going to predict they have 6 wins. The Pete Carroll effect.
Okay, that's fair.
Number 3, I have no faith in Madison Beer, the Los Angeles Chargers. I do think they're going to be a good team. I think the top 3 teams of this division, which you pointed out, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, will all be vying for a playoff spot, kind of like they did last year, right? So I think it's going to be close. I still see the Chargers as a 3. I do think they're improving. I just don't think they have enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
2, Kansas City Chiefs.
What the hell did you just say?
The Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2.
Wow.
Yep. And then number 1, year 2 of Sean Payton. Year 3 Sean Payton. Year 2 Bo Nix. Give me the Denver Broncos galloping to a division win.
The Denver Donkeys.
Yep. The Denver Broncos winning the division. I think, obviously, Kansas City makes the playoffs as a 10-win team. Broncos winning the division with 11. And I think the Chargers are right on the cusp. I think they win 9 wins. And they're going to be in the hunt for a playoff spot come playoff time.
That is the most egregious thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yep, I'm predicting the wins because of how egregious it is. I have to, make notes. I have to be on blast if I'm wrong.
Yeah, but I'm not even going to debate it. I'm just going to say, in my opinion, I just think the Chargers are a better team than the Broncos. But that's opinion based.
Okay.
Wow, that is a way to fucking end it off, Dean. Having the Chiefs, arguably one of the best teams in the AFC, at number 2 in their division. Holy shit.
Yep.
Wow. Well, Dean, are you satisfied with all your division winners?
No, not even a little. But you know what? That's what makes it beautiful, Darren.
Yes. But I will add a little dapper on here to make it a little fun. Because we did speak about, obviously, division winners. We're not going to speak about Super Bowl. We're not going to speak about playoffs and all that because that's too far down the line. But going into the year, I'm going to ask 2 things. I did ask you this a while ago, but it was too early. Who do you think could win MVP this year and Defensive Player of the Year? I'm only asking for those 2. Later on, before the season starts, I'll ask for the Coach of the Year and etc. Who's going to stand out amazingly this year and who's going to on offense and defense?
Sounds like the easy way out. But I'm going to go TJ or Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. I think one of them comes close to breaking 20 sacks in the year. And at that point, you can't really not give it to them. I just think they're obviously the best defensive players in the league. I realize I won it last year, which was crazy, right? But I'm going to go one of those 2 for defense. If I had to choose one, I'm going to give the edge to Watt just because of the scheme and just because of how defensive centric the Pittsburgh Steelers are. If I have to go MVP right now,
it's very hard.
It's not easy. If I had to go an MVP right now, how can I give you a top 3?
Yeah, that's fine because it's too soon. And then by week 1, I need another one.
Okay, that's perfectly fair. All right, I think my top 3 in I want that to be clear. Josh Allen has to be up there. Sounds corny once again. Lamar Jackson, always a regular season merchant. And number 3.
Oh no.
Kyler Murray.
Okay. I like that one. I wasn't expecting that. I like it. All right. I'll do my Defensive Player of the Year because I'm going to do the 1 and then I'll do my top 3. So my 1 for Defensive Player of the Year is coming back off a fucked up foot injury where his foot was like this. I'm going to go Aiden Hutchinson. If Aiden Hutchinson plays week 1, that kid is an animal and I see him I see him breaking asterisks. I see him breaking the sack record this year on his comeback year, which is bold. So moving away from that, I'm gonna go with my MVP, and mine is in particular order. Well, actually, no, not particular order, because I want to save mine. One of mine is Derrick Henry. King Henry will be back this year with vengeance. He did have a great year last year, but obviously got overshadowed by Saquon, because Saquon had an unbelievable year. Lamar, because Lamar is Lamar. And I think that the Ravens are one of the best teams in the AFC.
Yep.
And this is kind of going to be a shocker, but I think he's going to have an outstanding year this year. I think Puka Nacua will be in the top.
Geez.
No, listen to me. Will be in the top 3 for MVP. I just think it's going to happen. Well, I think he's going to win it. I don't know. But I think he'll be in the top 3. I think there's going to be one quarterback in the top 3 for the first time in a while. I wanted to say Saquon, but I have a feeling he's going to tear his ACL in week 1 because of the Madden cover. Well, that does conclude the most important part of this podcast, which is us to complete the divisions. Dean, would you like to say anything else before I introduce your favorite segment?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So now we are going to be hopping into Dean?
Baller of the week.
Good job, Dean. Very good. Cut out a little bit, but it sounded fantastic.
That's okay. Hey, look, it can't be perfect all the time, brother.
Yeah. All right. Would you like to start this week?
Hey, I'm going to leave it all to you. You go.
My baller of the week is actually going to be, it's going to touch on the entertainment side. It's going to touch a specific person, the person who pretty much owns the platform that I'm posting these videos on, YouTube, Mr. Beast. He's doing a charity for Team Water, which is one of his foundations, to where it's supplying clean water to any countries that don't have it. I think every $1,000 is 2 million bottles of water given to different countries. It's something along the lines of that. And on a stream with Aiden Ross and XQC, 2 big streamers, they raised over $12 million, which breaks the record for most money raised on stream by far. And it's not even a debate. With the helps of big people donating money, big streamers donating money, which overall charity is going to a good cause. It's always great to see. So that is my baller of the week, Mr. Beast.
Very nice, Derek. It's a good one. Love charity. Fantastic. Gonna go to my baller. Going to go back within the sports realm. Going to go to a sport that we do not talk about on this podcast, mainly because I don't like it. Golf. I have to. Number 1 golfer in the world, undisputed. The guy just won his 5th PGA Tour win of 2025. He hit a chip shot. If anybody hasn't seen it, he hit a chip shot that was absolutely gorgeous over the weekend on Sunday for the BMW Championship. My ball of the week, Scotty Scheffler. The guy is just absolutely phenomenal. He is one of the best golfers of our generation. He is on a generational run, only 29 years old, has 18 now PGA Tour wins. Just absolutely astonishing. He is just unreal, lights out, absolutely amazing. Not to mention he was gold in Happy Gilmore 2. Scotty Scheffler, my baller of the week.
And by the way, you can't also emphasize this enough. He was down in...
He was down, if I recall, I believe it was 3 strokes going into Sunday.
I think it was 4. I think it was either 3 or 4. It was one of the 2.
And then he wound up winning by 3 strokes.
Insane golfer, one of the best golfers now. Top. He's number 1. That's not a debate right now.
Undisputed number 1, not even close.
Yeah.
He's just, man.
And one thing I will say, if any of you guys did watch like old clips, it's like the shot that is being compared to Tiger Woods-esque type chip shot to make it in. But as what Dean said, you have to watch it. It was beautiful to even say. But Dean, phenomenal baller of the week. I love it because I love golf. Golf is so entertaining to watch. And Sky Shuffer coming back was absolutely insane. So Dean, good job on the baller of the week. And unfortunately, it's gone, Dean. The fireworks are gone.
I know. I'm very depressed. I have to figure out how to get them back.
I'll complain to Discord for you. I got you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. All right. But that does conclude this episode of the podcast. I know. It's so sad. But obviously, we did speak about a lot this podcast. We spoke about Anthony Richardson. We spoke about Micah Parsons. And we spoke about the whole NFL. It's going to be like this for the next coming weeks until the NFL season starts. And then back into the swing of things with big shit that was going on in that week. But like, subscribe, follow on Instagram, TikTok. Ideally speaking, I'm going to be forcing out the Spotify links so you guys can listen while you're at the gym doing all this. It's not as easy as what it is, but I'm a lazy piece of shit, and I need to start doing this. I want to help you guys out. I need to do shit for you guys, not just me. But we are at 80 subscribers, 20 subscribers away from 100. Mind you, I wasn't even expecting this channel to get 80 subscribers, but 20 away from 100. As we get closer, I'll figure out stupid shit I would do when we hit 100 subscribers. Maybe we'll do a hammered episode to where we're both obliterated just talking sports. But, hey, you never know. But, like, subscribe, follow on TikTok, follow on Instagram, posting TikToks. Actually posted one this week about Anthony Richardson sucks, pretty much. But, in general, Dean, any last words before I close it out? No? You're good? All right. Peace, gentlemen.